Hello, beautiful soul family. It's Breanne here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to Readings with Breanne. I am very much looking forward to doing a crystal ball gaze and a tarot dive for you guys on 2025, let's say world energy reports. Again, you guys, this is just a perspective that I'm sharing with you guys. Please do take or leave whatever resonates with you or whatever does not. I always encourage you guys to do your own research and use your discernment. So with that being said, I wanted to dive into some of the things I was getting for 2025 and what does that look like. So now to kind of start with 2025, we are entering, when we look at Chinese astrology, I'm sure some of you guys have heard me talk about this, but we are entering into the year of the snake, and this is also a wood snake. So when we look at a snake shedding its skin, that's great transformation, great change. But we also have wood, right, which represents the color green. And when we look at green, this is all about, guess what? Healing. This is all about a big transformation, and it feels like a personal transformation for a lot of individuals as well. So lots of really good things to look forward to for 2025. Now, I have pulled a few tarot cards prior to coming on and just spending a few moments that I wanted to share with you with some insight, and then I will see what I can get from the crystal ball. I want to share, like, when I was looking into this a little bit, if we are looking into 2025, this is a 9, and a 9 is all about fire. It's a fast moving energy. Look what came out, you guys, the 8 of Wands. This is rapid, impulsive energy. Now, I do feel like a lot of people may be experiencing more impulsiveness, and just it's a very fast moving energy. So yes, things are going to continue to go very fast movement progression in 2025, which some people may like, but some people may have a little bit of trouble with that, especially if they like to really, let's say, ground themselves and think things through. Maybe they want to be like a little bit slow in making decisions, but this is a lot of go energy for 2025. Now, and in Chinese astrology, we are entering into this period of 9. So the next oh my goodness, what is it? The next 20 years, we will be in a 9 cycle period, which is going to be huge for transformations in terms of AI, technology, lots of innovations that are really going to be coming out here to the collective. But I wanted to touch base on the fact that what planet rules 2025? We have Mars, okay? Mars is sometimes, that's that planet of wars. It's a bit of a combative, conflicted energy. So I do think going into 2025, you guys, even though there's a lot of positive changes moving forward, we still do have that 5 of Cups, okay? The 5 of Cups is a bit of a sadness and a sorrow with the way some things have played out. But when I look at what's aspecting this, you guys, it is phenomenal, because we not only have the strength, we have the star, okay? So on top of this, you guys, oh my goodness, there's so much going on. So I'll try to keep this as clear as possible, or connect the dots for you guys. But my apologies if I'm jumping all over the place, because again, there's so much information flooding in, and it's going to be a really exciting year, 2025. A lot of good things, you guys, a lot of good things. But, it's still, 9 represents the endings, okay? And on top of this, I know this is something we've talked about for a very long time, but disclosure, reveals. If we look at Pluto is also in Aquarius when we look at 2025, and Pluto is all about these big revealing secrets, and that's exactly the situation that I have for 2025 is the 7 of Cups. So there are lots of new opportunities coming out to the collective, but this is going to be what I'm relating to as more of big reveals coming out. So we'll see what maybe some of those big reveals maybe will be in the crystal ball, and we'll pull some more tarot as well. So with that being said, as the tarot came up again, 10 of Swords in that past energy, we are ending a cycle. And guess what's coming out in the collective? The Fool. So this is really beautiful to see that there's a completely brand new energy coming out for the collective. A lot of people are going to be waking up. A lot of people are going to be if you look at the snake, is very much into or representing wisdom. When you look at kind of the esoteric, the metaphysical world, you know, a lot of more people are going to open their eyes to that and be curious and follow certain spiritual paths. So like I see more and more people becoming, it's going to be more of an, you know, an everyday thing that you see people doing. Whereas, yes, it's now, I feel like it's come a long way with the internet. And, you know, you could find tons of tarot card readers and psychic readers to Reiki to, you know, mediums, you know, a whole broad spectrum of this. So this has very much come out, you know, to the public on a pretty large scale, in my opinion, but this is even going to continue to progress over 2025. A lot of people are going to, you know, that may kind of shake that off, are going to kind of open their eyes and go, wow, maybe there is something to this. So it's really exciting to see, and seeing more people open to their spiritual journey, I guess you can say, like consciously creating their reality and looking at themselves on a deeper level. So that's super exciting. That gets me excited. So with that being said, goodness, where do we even want to go here? Now, one of the things that was coming out here for me when I was looking into this energy was all about, I was really getting the transformations that Mother Earth has to go through. And I know that's kind of a bit of a broad statement, but we'll see if we can dive into it a little bit more specifically. But there's an alignment that's happening, or it's almost like, I want to keep saying the word, a reset that's happening here. And when I'm getting that, it's like, actually, I'm going to also turn over to kind of looking into the crystal ball and see if I can kind of integrate some of the energies that I was getting here. One second. Because I'm seeing like a reset, but then when I look around too, to get kind of a little bit more specific for you guys, it's going to result in a big shift in things that we see when it comes to one, I'm seeing like weather, okay? So when we look at, I know right as I'm filming this, it's still December 2024. I believe today is the 27th. And we had a very mild last few days. Christmas Eve, the sun was out, it was beautiful. And I think Christmas Day it ended up raining. But for the most part, it's been pretty warm. It hasn't been too crazy for this time of the year. And I see that actually changing when we enter into 2025. I am seeing, it's like, I just feel this sensation of cold. Like I am so cold, even just looking into this. So when I look in the ball as well, it feels like, I know this came up in another crystal ball gaze that I was looking at. It was fog. It was that fog. I was literally taking it as actual fog, and that could very much be that energy of it still being foggy. But the fact that I have the Seven of Cups is really about illusions and secrecies that are, you know, lying underneath all of that fog. And that's very much like here, slow and steady, this information is leaking and coming out. So this is about corrupt individuals, elites, the crashing of Hollywood, all of that stuff. It has to come out, okay? So many different topics to go from there, but I'll just leave it at that. But I really get the beginning of, I just feel so cold. The beginning of 2025 may be extremely cold, and what I'm seeing is, it's kind of like the Justice card with the scales, how there's this image of a scale, but the scale is constantly up and down, up and down. There are going to be, it's like 2025 is a beautiful time of, let's say, the end of an era, but it's going to be a year of huge fluctuations, or let's say extremes. So when I see this, I'm just like, ooh, like I feel like it's going to get really cold in the winter, and then it's going to get really hot in the summer. Or this could also indicate certain areas in the world that may, for example, experience snow that has never got snow before. It's like really bizarre weather energies. And I feel like this is what I'm getting, is to do with a shift. I don't know if you want to call it like a polar shift, but it's like a magnetic shift with Mother Earth. So with that being said, it's going to be an interesting year of weather. And while I'm on that topic, I'm also going to touch base on earthquakes. And I was strongly seeing volcanoes as well, because I do see, I know again, I'll see if I can get more specific on that, because I kept getting they kept giving me the Iran. So I'm gonna have to see, is there a big volcano in Iran? Iran active volcanoes. Let me just look and see what comes up, because I'm not too familiar with the volcanoes out there. Okay, so we do have a list of volcanoes. So yeah, there are some active volcanoes out there, and I mean that I'm almost seeing like more of what I could see in the crystal ball. I may be saying this incorrectly, but Damavand. Anyway, there's, if you Google it, there's a volcano that looks, the picture that I Googled actually looks like the image of what I'm seeing in my crystal ball. Again, sometimes mountains look somewhat similar, so I can't say for sure, but they are talking, I feel like I'm getting Iran when I'm talking about volcanoes. So there could be some kind of a shakeup, like they're saying there's a blow. Okay, something's blowing in Iran. Okay, but with that being said, I do see really a good positive thing that I want to share. When it comes to like Russia and the Ukraine, and the US as well, I see a peace. There's a peaceful energy here. So let's go Russia, Ukraine, and the US. The wars are going to end. The war in Gaza and Israel are going to end, is what I'm seeing. So that is a very positive shift that I'm seeing here. Let me see if I had anything here I wanted to talk about. All right, let's see what else is coming out of the crystal ball. Now, in terms of earthquakes, I might want to pull the tarot on this one, but because I've heard things about this one, so I don't want to just assume. I really do want to pull the tarot more deeply on this one, but let's go with like California. I mean, I have heard there's been, like when is that next big earthquake? I do see a lot of big earthquakes happening, or multitude of many earthquakes happening, especially in the summer. So like maybe even like May, maybe more to like June to like August, I feel like is going to be a hot time for potential earthquakes. Now I'm getting England, so I don't know if that has to do with England, but I'm also, what I'm seeing, that big historic clock in England, is it called like the Big Ben? Is that what it's called? But I'm seeing that historic the historic London clock, the Big Ben, and I don't know if this is something happening pertaining to that monument or that historical clock, or if this is just bringing me into England or London, I guess I should say, but there could be some potential shakeups in England is the place that I'm being given. So maybe we can pull some tarot on that, but I also wanted to look at California to see if that has a potential for a big shakeup, because I'm strongly getting some places in Europe here with some a lot of flooding as well. Again, a lot of this it's like adjustments within the earth. So there could be some situations where there will be a fair amount of flooding happening. Now, kind of to switch gears as well, I mean, in January, we have the inauguration of Mr. Trump, January 20th, I believe. Now, with that coming up, I do see it going through. Now, I do also see, because there's a little bit of like turbulence around his energy, but it's like a lot of these corrupt individuals and elites, there's a lot of people that still do not want him to take power or take power. There's a lot of individuals and corrupt individuals, I guess I could say, that don't want him to, be the president. So there's that constant effort of trying to take him down, but it's like every step they take, it doesn't work. He is extremely protected here, and he has a job to fulfill. He has a contract, a soul mission to fulfill here, and he's gonna shake things up in such a big way. I mean, either like him or don't like him, he's really here to shake things up. And guess what? Unveil a lot of truths. Because do you know what I keep hearing in the back of my mind? Epstein, Epstein, Epstein. And I'm like, what does this have to do with anything? But it actually very much does make sense, because I see potentially Trump opening that floodgates in terms of all these awful, let's say, child trafficking to certain things that have been happening behind the scenes for so very long. And it's going to be hard to hear. Like, there is a deep sadness over a lot of people in 2025. But again, you guys, it builds so much strength as a community and a collective here. Now, and on top of that, we have the star. So there is something like, there is lots of extraterrestrials. As you know, we have the whole situation with the New Jersey drones and the orbs. But actually, I do have something really interesting as well I wanted to share. I'll get to that momentarily. But with this energy, are we going to be seeing more extraterrestrials in 2025? Absolutely, I do think so. Now, I do think that there is like kind of a line, or there's certain expectations. Some individuals think that they're just going to pop out and be like, here we are, we're here to mingle with you. And I don't necessarily see that happening. I think we're still a while away from that actual kind of physical contact. Not to say it won't happen to anyone. I think there are still very much certain races that are very much here. They're with us. But a lot of this communication, I feel like you'll see more people channeling, more people connecting to, you know, whatever it is, other Pleiadians or maybe Syrians. You're going to see more and more people either in dream state or channeling, just being guided to connect with them. So we will see more of this absolutely in ships in the sky, kind of like a, hey, we're here, right? And there will be more disclosure as well with that being said. So, one thing, okay, so I guess what I will share while we're on this topic of extraterrestrial is when I was connecting earlier, so I was given this word, it was like a shriek in my ear, and it said Medusa. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are thinking like, oh, like Greek mythology, right? Medusa with the snakes as her hair. And that's what first thing I went to as well. And that's not what I feel like they were talking about, because they were showing me these energies of, it's like these fighters. It's almost like this secret task force that pretty much combats certain negative entities or negative energies or governments or cults or elites, however you want to label that. And it's like in the midst of taking down that energy. So I had to I googled to try to see if I could find anything on like a government CIA operation called Medusa, and I did find something in terms of, I think, something to do with some kind of software or malware, some kind of I feel like software situation with maybe Russia or something, but find anyway too much a credibility in terms of articles of what I was getting. So this sounds almost really surreal to say, but it's almost this energy of, there is certain task force right now that these do not feel like humans at all. I don't know if these are genuine genetically modified. I don't know what these are, but there is some kind of a force that can assist at taking out, this could very much be that extraterrestrial energy that are working with certain humans to take out some of that negative garbage from the earth. Because again, the collective, our consciousness is rising and we are waking up, and that negativity, that I can't even say negativity, that darkness cannot survive in that world, in that atmosphere or environment anymore, right? So I found that was really interesting. I kind of want to do a little bit more digging on that, but it was so loud, you guys. It was like Medusa, and it just feels like something really powerful that is working behind the background. It feels positive. It feels like this is a massive takedown of like cults. Look at Hollywood. Everything is crumbling to the ground, you guys. So again, it's going to be a lot of fast moving energy for 2025. So let's keep going and see what else. I'll spend a few more minutes and see if we can get a few more things from the crystal ball. Okay, what did we talk about here? We talked about the weather. I feel like that's going to be crazy. Earthquakes. I don't know if this is happening in England, you guys, but I do feel like there could be something really big happening in England and Iran. Iran, I get something to do with a potential volcano or some kind of an explosion, okay? And there could potentially be something going on in California, but I want to pull the tarot on that because I'm not sure. This is why sometimes I don't like to watch other um, other channels that do kind of this similar thing, because sometimes I don't want to get like influenced by that information. I really want to try to come to this as clean slate and neutral as possible, but I have heard a lot of predictions about a big earthquake in California. So with that being said, I want to pull the tarot on that because I'm not necessarily seeing California in the crystal ball, but I see a lot of earthquakes, and that could be one area that may get hit. So we'll see what the tarot has to say about that. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about the economy, the housing market, the cryptocurrencies. Now, I was connecting prior about this question because I know this is something that so many people are really interested in, and they're struggling. There's a lot of struggling happening. Now, I do think that the first half of 2025 are going to be quite chaotic, quite jaw-dropping still. It's not going to be a boring year. I will give you that. Nothing boring about 2025, but there still is a lot of heavy, dense energy and sadness. But it's through these situations is where we gain strength as a community and really work together. And I see that happening. So there are certain things that still have to fall into place, and there's as us as a collective will come together. So there are bigger communities standing up, coming together. I do see some protests as well, so it feels like more people are going to be standing up, more people are going to be protesting. So with that being said, I wanted to talk a little bit about what I was getting for the economy. Again, I'm seeing that scales. It's going to be quite extreme. I feel like for the first, I'm going to say 6 months. Originally, I was thinking the first quarter, but I feel like it's going to go a bit beyond that. I do think the summer may be pretty intense. Like I said, extremes from super cold to super hot. So we may see a lot of even, unfortunately, deaths with this heat and the heat waves in this upcoming summer. It may be really, really crucial, but I'm sure we can always kind of revisit that month to month as things go on, but just something I wanted to share. Now, when we look at, let's see here, the economy and the housing market, you guys, there is good news here. There is a lot of abundance that I do see people getting. I don't know if these are like reimbursements or those programs being set up, but I do see this coming, although I don't see it right away. Again, it feels like this is more towards potentially the end of 2025. I know that's probably longer than you guys wanted to hear, but this is what I'm getting. I still think there's a lot of things that we have to go through and experience for the first half of 2025. But when I was asking about this wealth, let's say, coming back to the people, and they gave me the phrase sit tight. I'm like, we're sitting tight. So they did say that. They said to sit tight. Things are still unraveling. I do see a complete, again, overhaul when it comes to the economy, and a big shift and a change, because I do see us moving more towards that digital quantum I guess reality is what you can label that is. Working with cryptocurrency, that's going to be the new way of the future. It's not going anywhere, you guys. I don't see that going anywhere. So, but there is, even though it can be a little overwhelming, there is a lot of really good energy behind that, because then you're cutting out, there's no middleman anymore, right? You are in control of your wealth, which is a really powerful thing. So, it may be a little bit longer in terms of like when I'm looking at Oh yeah, fluctuations as well. I know you guys are wondering about like crypto, because is there going to be crashes? What does that look like? I don't know if I see a full out crash, but it's almost like the energy of it being so like the extremes, where I actually think there could be a lot of people that could potentially make a ton of money, because they're going to fluctuate so much for the first, from what I see, the first 6 months. I see January actually going quite high, very like promising. Things are taking off, and then I feel like in February it may actually dip. So just, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor, please do your own research, but it feels like the market is going to be consistently fluctuating. I don't see it as steady, not for the first half, maybe towards the next second half of 2025, going into the fall or the end of the summer, maybe things can kind of start to stabilize a little bit. But just expect a lot of ups and downs on the first few months for sure when it comes to cryptocurrency and investments there. All right, let's see. I'm. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this topic because I have done quite a few videos on this before, but kind of going back to, again, certain leaderships. We are finally, I am not at all, you guys, I'm not at all putting any of these guys or gals on a pedestal. Okay. But there is an energy of, there are actually leaders coming in here that have the interest of other people at heart. It's not all about corruption. It's not about them wanting money and greed. And it is such a breath of fresh air to see that energy, you guys. So we are really headed into, like, I don't know, you could say a golden era. This is a really, really positive and exciting time. And I'm really looking forward to the momentum moving forward in the future. Now, with Mr. Justin Trudeau, this guy, yeah, I mean, I did a video on this not too long ago. I wasn't sure if he was going to be, going to be out of the picture by the end of December, but I said it may go into January. I mean, we're almost at the end of December now. I haven't done much Googling on it recently, but I think he like took off and went on vacation when Canada's exploding and falling apart. So, you know what, he's not going to be around much longer. JT will be out of here. I do see potentially Pierre Poilievre being the next, I guess, prime minister, you can say. And I see him very much working alongside with Trump, or more specifically Elon, is what I'm seeing as well. So I know a lot of people will be, clapping to hear, excited to hear that Justin will be out of here soon. So I won't spend too much time on that topic, but that's definitely what seems like a big celebration for Canada, and rebuilding is going to be a little challenging. The next leader has a challenge on his hands. All right, guys. I'm not sure if I missed anything here. I think I touched base on most of the things, but I'm going to move over to the tarot. I'm not seeing this in the crystal ball, but I keep intuitively getting something going down. I feel like Spain may have a bit of a tough year. I don't know specifically what's happening in Spain, but it feels like a lot of a big shakeup happening in Spain. Maybe these are earthquakes as well. I think I might even pull some tarot, just do a quick tarot spread just to see the energies coming out of Spain for 2025. But that's something that's been kind of keeps coming up. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. But let's dive into the tarot and let's see what other messages are coming out here. Again, with Inauguration Day coming up as well. I guess I can touch base. Did I even touch base on that yet? Trump, I do see things going through. Trump is going to be inaugurated. I do see a little bit of some tensions with him. I wouldn't be surprised if there's another assassination attempt. And this, originally I was trying to see, is this going to happen like before he's inaugurated or after? The more I kind of look into this energy, I am getting it potentially a little bit in, a few months afterwards, maybe around the summer. is when, let's say between June, July, somewhere around there, where there could be a potential another attempt. But again, I don't see it. He's very much protected here, and I think I have already talked about that, so my apologies if I said it twice. So okay, let's move to the tarot and see what messages and what else is coming in when it comes to 2025. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love all your guys' feedback and support. If you guys have any other tarot topics you want me to look into, don't forget to comment down below. Always open to hearing your guys' perspectives. Now, please note that I will never reach out to you guys for a personal reading. So if you guys do want a session with me, please visit my website at readingswithbreanne.com. And with that being said, let's dive into the tarot topic for today. All right, lovely souls. So let's see what we have coming out for the collective for 2025. I will say here, I'm still kind of gazing a little bit at the crystal ball, and before I switched over here, I was seeing a massive car coming out of the crystal ball, but what's interesting is nobody's driving it. So I'm wondering if this is in terms of potential, because we actually didn't talk too much on AI and technology. This next, year onwards is going to be crazy with certain innovations, and all that technology, AI, all of that stuff is going to completely excel and move forward. And I do see, I don't want to go as far as saying flying cars yet, not just yet, but I do see it's like these cars are self-driving because there's nobody in the car of the crystal ball, and it's taking the whole car up. So this could be something that could be launched or in the process in 2025. So that'll be interesting to see certain technologies coming out. Sir, can we get an overall energy of 2025? What does that look like? We have the Castle. Overall energies of 2025, the Starborn. Let's get one more. The Anima Monday. All right, guys. Now, again, when I see this energy, when I look at the Anima Monday, I'm really seeing this very much as being connected with all living things, you guys. It's like seeing ourselves at such a deeper level. And so many people, look at this. We have people cracking through the barrier, cracking through the shell. This is that Starborn. A lot of people are rising up and awakening. And then we have that Castle as well. I mean, I don't know why, but it's totally drawing me to the royal family. I haven't looked up any specific news on them lately, but again, 2025 could very much be, I've said this again and again, the downfall of royal families. The Vatican as well, all of this stuff, you guys, it is going to be a jaw-dropping year. Again, Pluto, you guys, Pluto is all about great transformations and the unraveling, unveiling. And I have to say, Trump is definitely going to be pushing a lot of things out as well. Big disruptions and big, for a lot of the people that are, let's say, tuning in, a lot of you guys, you're already aware of all this, what's going on, but there's still a lot of people out there are very much asleep. And when they hear certain news coming out and all these unravelings, it's going to be extremely shocking, extremely jaw-dropping. And I even see some people like denying it. They're flat out denying, even though the proof is right there in front of them. They don't believe it. So it's about, knowing we all have our own paths as well. And just to hold that unconditional love and light. But okay, let's keep going here. What do we have, Spirit? Let's get another pull on 2025. Can I get any more messages to come out for 2025? What do we have for the collective, Spirit? Temperance. I love it. End of victory. Look at that. Look at that instability in the past. It is in the past. Okay, so we're sitting on the fence, still that divide, right? The world, what the heck? There's that Seven of Cups, big theme for 2020. You guys, look what just came up. The Justice. Did I not say the whole time through the crystal ball, I kept seeing the Justice, the scale. What? That is crazy. I love it. You know what? The more and more like you work and trust tarot, it's so beautiful to see these synchronicities really like confirming. It's like, yes, there's a confirmation. So really beautiful to see there. So again, I have to say this is beautiful. Not to say we're out of the woods yet. You guys are still going to be a lot of ups and downs and turmoil in 2025. This is the ending. So this is everything, all the unravelings out on the table, because 2026 is a whole fresh start. But there's lots of positive energy to come out of this. The collective has the temperance, okay? This is balance coming to the people as well. But it feels like more and more as intense situations arise, as you know, we talked about kind of in the beginning with Mars being ruled, you know, in 2025, Mars really can relate to certain wars, anger, all of that kind of bubbling up of emotions. And on top of that, it's a fire year. It's eight of wands, that's fast moving, and it's impulsive energy. So it is going to cause a divide between certain individuals, groups, maybe religions. I do see the downfall of a lot of religious institutions, I guess I can say here with this energy. But there's a victory and a whole new cycle starting, you guys. So exciting. So very, very exciting. So again, you know, holding that love, holding that light. And I feel like a lot of people are going to get it. Their shells are cracking and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, how did I not see that coming? Right? And they're going to be able to look at the world in a whole new perspective. So it is a beautiful thing to see. But amongst that, I do see, it's like, I feel like there may be a lot of depression as well going into this year, especially the first half, because it is feeling really dark, really cold. And it's a dark place, but again, shining the light on these dark places, because that's where we're gonna gain our strength. Remember, we had strength here when I pulled the tarot, and now we have the Seven of Cups, which is all these secrets coming out, and then we have justice. This is karma as well. But how are you going to move forward through these tough situations? I mean, how are you gonna let it affect you? It's ultimately up to you, and there is going to be lots of people that will wake up, and it'll be a beautiful thing. I do see, when I'm seeing the Six of Wands, I keep thinking of the housing market, and I know a lot of you guys are curious about that as well. So I'm gonna pull just a couple on top of these ones and see what do we have for the housing market, because I have been getting that is going to shift and change. I don't think it's going to change in the first half of 2025, but it feels like in the second half, that's when a lot of things are really going to fall into place, and we're going to see some massive changes. So what does the housing market look like, Spirit, for the collective in 2025? What does that look like? The Emperor, Two of Cups, Five of Swords. Yeah, so Page of Swords being in the present is showing that this is going to take a little bit more time. So I wouldn't expect the housing market to change in the first half of 2025. Yeah, Seven of Cups. There we have a lot of opportunities coming here. And a new start. So absolutely, but again, things need to be exposed. Look at this instabilities. Look at all this. So there has to be that overhaul, so people can see how much the corrupt in certain institutions are really profiting. And there's a small select few that are consistently making money and making profits off the rest of the collective here. So that's going to change, and it's a really beautiful thing, but things still need to play out for the first half of 2025 is what it feels like. So yes, I'm excited to see. Absolutely, I see that there's an energy of the housing market changing for the better. In 2025, there's a whole new start, you guys. Really exciting. So that's great, because I wanted to see what was coming out on there. And along with that, that's going to go hand in hand with the economy. So when I was asking, yes, I do see, let's say, what do they want to call it? Certain packages coming out, abundance, rebate checks. I don't know if that's the right term, but you know what I mean. Wealth coming back. But when I was asking about that, they did say sit tight. So it feels like it's still going to be a bit of time for things to really turn over there. But absolutely, I feel like the economy is going to get better. It's going to rebuild itself. Something else that I'm seeing right now just in my head is a lot. I mean, maybe this is just a given with Trump kind of in power, but I do see a lot of like deportations happening, especially when we're looking at, you know, the United States. So that will be happening, which will significantly change the overall energy of the United States. So a loss of deportations happening is what it seems like. And that is almost the energy of things like that are actually happening now. Some of them are happening behind the scenes though, but we'll hear more news about that in 2025. So let's dive into a few specific questions. Let me pull, okay, I am really excited to see there is peace in, you know, like between the wars in Iran and Gaza, or though Israel and Gaza. I kept getting Israel, I kept getting Iran in terms of a volcano. So I'm going to ask the cards about. Let's see, is there a potential of a volcano eruption in Iran? Is this a potential event that could happen in Iran? We have the Devil, the Star, Three of Swords, Three of Cups, Four of Pentacles. All right, we do have the Tower, you guys, and we do have a lot here about potential flooding as well. So I'm not totally convinced that this has to be a volcano eruption here, but there is something here happening when it comes to let's say an event that's occurring that's going to cause some chaos here. So we do have the Tower as well, and with this energy, with the shadow side, we have that Devil energy over the collective in Iran. So it feels like there could be quite a dense energy there for 2025, or for some of it for sure here. Now, I do see this kind of still sitting on the fence, so it's not like this is something that's absolutely destined to happen. This is an energy report, and again, there is this energy. We have the Star and we have the Three of Cups here. So the Star and other people coming together in the community, this is a sense of renewal. So sometimes, you know, unfortunately, when catastrophic things happen, that's when there's communities that come together. So there is something about communities in Iran coming together. It's really beautiful here, but there is very much a shakeup. So this could potentially be people maybe moving away to higher grounds, or away from any maybe potential volcano, or anything that is showing signs of a potential eruption here. But this could also indicate certain flooding, certain earthquakes as well. But yes, I do see some kind of a shakeup happening with this Tower moment. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. It's kind of balancing something out. And again, the first thing that I was getting when I was looking into the momentum of 2025 is pertaining to Mother Earth, and it's balancing out. So it's trying to juggle, it's juggling, it's adjusting. This could even be that energy of certain pole shifting. So there is a shift within the earth that is going to potentially change a lot of things physically on this earth. And that is going to include some shakeups and, you know, chaos with things until they settle down. So that is still coming up in the cards. So I will, you know, send lots of love and light to the people out there and to the land as well. So with that Tower moment, definitely a possibility for some shakeups in Iran. All right, so let's see what else is going on in England, because that's something that I was consistently seeing as well. So let's pull, what is the energy of England for 2025, Spirit? Let's see what's the overall energy for England for 2025? Because they kept showing me, what is it, the big clock? The Hermit. It's kind of like they're in the dark. This could be, yeah. You guys, this is potentially an earthquake. Okay, so when I was asking and looking into getting insight on this. When I was looking into a volcano, I was given Iran. But when I was looking into earthquakes, I was given England. We have the Tower here. This is, for me, also representing a potential earthquake. And we do have a lot of tougher energies around this, so it could be a pretty decent size earthquake. So again, just sending love. Like I said before, if enough people and collective come together and put that energy towards maneuvering and altering that, it could very much soften those energies. So yes, I want to say, when I was looking into the crystal ball and getting those in downloads, I guess you can say, for earthquakes, potentially England is a hot spot for something to happen for 2025. But you know what's interesting? I was again seeing that clock, and this kind of showing up. It looks like almost, I mean, this is a tower, but it's a big monumental structure. So maybe that could be an earthquake somewhere around that area, or maybe there could be damage to that big clock. But I keep seeing that big clock. So anyway, all right. And I also wanted to ask, because there's been quite a few predictions when we look into California and the big one happening. So what's the energy of a potential large earthquake happening in California? What does that look like, Spirit? All right, let's take a look and see when it comes to potential earthquakes in California. Is there a potential for a big one to hit? You guys, you know what, this year, be prepared for lots of shakeups worldwide. It feels like there is earthquakes globally, all over the place. So yes, you know, I know this has been a prediction for a lot of different, I think, readers or psychics. So there is kind of that energy of, yes, moving kind of maybe away to safer grounds here as well, because there could again be a lot of flooding. I'm getting a lot with, again, earthquakes, and also when it comes to flooding, especially in Iran. We got that multiple times. So with California, I do see a potential of an earthquake here. But there is also lots of love energy surrounding this and the situation. You know, again, like I said before, I mean, through certain catastrophic events, I'm not saying this is going to be absolutely catastrophic. There's a lot of lighter energies around this, but through these tough times, you guys, this is where a lot of people come together, and it feels like this is a reoccurring thing. I cannot believe we have the tower over California, we had the tower in England, we had the tower in Iran. It's like earthquakes, shakeups happening globally here. So when I do see this as well, look how much wands you guys are. 6 of wands, queen of wands, king of wands, sorry, knight of wands, 3 of wands. I feel like if this is something that is going to happen in California, this may be something that may be closer to, you know, closer on a timeline than we think. This is something unexpected. So I mean, I don't want to put specific timelines on it, but 2025, I mean, the tower also is in that Mars energy, and that's what we can expect for 2025. So lots and lots of shakeups everywhere. So of course, keeping that light-hearted energy and, you know, helping out as well, energetically, just sending lots of unconditional love and light to the entire world. It's like a global meditation is needed here. So wow, I'm blown away to see how much energy how much, you know, tower and explosive energy has come out of all of these spreads. Now there's one thing, it's not out on the table here, but I keep seeing the 8 of Swords in my mind as well. So I'm not sure if there's some kind of event that maybe shuts down. I don't know if this is borders, or it's like Eight of Swords is all about kind of being backed into the corner, right? So I'm not sure if in California there could be some potential shutdowns. I don't know if this is in terms of maybe airplanes like flights, for example, or having a bit of struggle with getting in and out of California. So I don't know, you guys. Now, it's never my goal to put any fear porn out there, you guys, but I do want to kind of say, I mean, I can't tell how catastrophic this is going to be. I think I may actually do a bit of a deeper dive on this in its own video, because the more I kind of take in this energy, and it's like, yes, we have the Ace of Cups and the outcome. This is representing new beginnings. So it's like the downfall and then new beginnings. And the thing is, when I look at what's aspecting this, we do have, first of all, we have the Knight of Wands in the situation, and then aspecting the outcome, we have the Three of Wands and the Eight of Cups. So this is about traveling. This is getting out, walking away. This is, you know, kind of the energy of taking a risk of staying there. Now, I know not everybody is just going to be able to get up and leave, and this is a very broad statement as well, because, or I guess a broad energy report, because yeah, like we don't know if this is going to happen for sure. We also don't know when, and a lot of people aren't going to be able to just get up and leave, but there is a tough energy coming out of this. So just, I guess, well, my recommendation to you guys is just to be prepared if possible. Have some, you know, safety supplies, or, you know, some food, some water, you know, flashlights, that sort of thing kind of on hand, just to be prepared. Again, never my goal to put any fear out there, but with this energy and the constant, you know, where regardless of where you are globally, there seems to be a constant theme of shakeups, earthquakes, eruptions. This could be maybe even violence, right? You look at Mars, we have violence, wars, that sort of thing. So like I said, it may get a little bit worse before it still gets better. You know, there is lots of positive things to look forward to in 2025, but unfortunately, earthquakes seem to be a big highlighting event. And it doesn't seem to be just in one little area. So I just want to say, you know, listen to yourself intuitively, and there could be just some potential shakeups when it comes to California, but I'm going to look at doing possibly a bigger dive on this in another video. I wanted to pull a couple on Spain as well, because I keep getting something happening in Spain. What's happening in Spain, Spirit? Anything major for Spain for 2025? How will the people of Spain be for 2025? Well, when I see this, it feels like overall they're going to have a lot of breakthroughs, but it feels like it could potentially just be a lot of exposures, especially when it comes to certain governments that are maybe, you know, hoarding certain wealth here. But I don't see in terms of like a big shakeup within, well, okay, when we see the Six of Swords as well, it's hard to see it with the glare here, this can indicate a flood, like a rising of waters as well. So we can see some disruptions or disturbances in Spain with the maybe flooding happening here, and potentially something to do with exposures about money, something about money and breakthroughs that are coming out to the people here. So it actually looks pretty positive, but they're going to go through some turmoil, but so is multiple places all over the world. So not as intense as I was, you know, wondering, but that's why I wanted to see here, because I didn't necessarily see anything in the crystal ball for Spain, but it's just, I keep feeling like Spain keeps coming up in my mind. Kind of interesting. So, all right, let's see what's happening in Spain. I tell you, if we get another Tower card, my goodness. What do we have, Spirit, for any big events, any big hiccups for Spain in 2025? Nine of Swords, Two of Pentacles. Yeah, I mean, we don't have the Tower. We don't have the Tower, you guys, but it's a little bit tough when it comes to trying to balance the energies out in Spain, because especially with the people, they're in that Nine of Swords energy, and then on top of that we have the Two of Swords over the situation and the Devil in the outcome. So very much it feels like a big divide. Look at this, Two of Swords and Two of Wands. You know, I do think this is something that is happening globally, but it feels like a big divide with certain individuals and people, especially in Spain for 2025 here. Now, this is of course happening globally as well, but when again, this Two of Pentacles is consistently coming out, and I can't stop seeing, you guys, look at the water in the background. I just feel like Spain could undergo or oversee like a loss of flooding happening again in 2025. I keep getting also a lot about ships or the ports. I don't know if this is importing, exporting certain things, but there's a lot of imbalances, especially with I don't know if there's a lot of poverty happening here, but the Two of Pentacles is really trying to balance things out. So 2025 does look like a tough go for the people in Spain, especially if we look at their energy, you guys. The Nine of Swords is a lot of depression, mental problems, insomnia. It's just all in all like a lot of depression and down and out energy. So it's looking a little rough for Spain. I don't know, like this isn't something that I seen in the crystal ball. This is just intuitively I was getting something, you know, maybe tough in Spain for 2025. So I guess we'll have to see how that unfolds, but definitely, especially with the Devil in that outcome, it looks like there's lots of overhauls happening in Spain here. Now, I do really think that's so interesting that we have the Two of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords. And when we look at 222 and what that can really represent and resemble is, now, I'm not too sure if Spain has certain, let's say, who their allies, who their enemies are, but with this energy, it feels like there's more of an emphasis for 2025 with them collaborating and connecting with more of the world. So I'm not sure if they're like in their own little bubble there in Spain or what the dynamics of that is, but it just feels like there's a push to really, for one, there's a big divide in 2024 and separation, especially with the Two of Swords sitting on the fence. Anyway, maybe we'll do like a deeper dive again on Spain in the future, but I just wanted to see intuitively what I was getting, what was coming out of the card. So again, I can confirm for what I was feeling and what I see in the tarot here, that it is going to be potentially a bit of a rough haul for Spain in 2025, whether that is certain floodings happening like flash floodings, or could be certain issues with the ships or the ports of Spain as well. And the economy here. It's like the energy of the poverty and the economy here, about this divided people. The people of Spain feel like they're very divided, okay? So lots of love, of course. Oh my goodness. I keep seeing that Six of Cups as well. And when I see that, that's really related to children. And I feel like there's going to be a huge shift and alter when it comes to potentially the school systems, which is a wonderful thing. Like right now, so many kids are just put in this little box, and there's going to be, look at this, more community, more of a celebration when it comes to children and their potential abilities, because they all learn and interact differently. And unfortunately in the school systems nowadays, they just lump everyone together, and if you don't fit into that little box, then you're labeled as a certain, maybe, you know, whatever it is. So it's really exciting to see them looking at the school systems with different perspectives here. And I'm really excited to see momentum moving forward with that. So let me just pull a few. What does the school systems look like for the collective for 2025? School systems for 2025. Magician. There's the children. I keep seeing that one. Yeah, we're walking away from trying to fit them in a box. You guys. So there is going to be, it's like an overhaul. It's a pretty tough energy. It's going to be a big overhaul with the school systems. It's going to take some time, but I see a positive momentum moving forward here. So again, we do have that Devil in the outcome, and we have the Three of Swords. So there's been lots of mistreated children and misdiagnosed children as well. I want to say, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just seeing this in the energy, and it feels like there's actually breakthroughs where they're like, okay, we're going to approach this from a different angle. And I feel like this isn't just going to be in one place, this is going to be worldwide. So things, the school systems, regulations are going to significantly change for the children. So super exciting. So my goodness, you guys, there is so much going on here for 2025. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so it's probably going to be a bit of a longer one. But let's see, what other things do we want to pull? So let's do a bit of a tarot pull on Trump and the inauguration here. Let's just see how that's going to go. Because again, I'm just seeing so many truth bombs. And for some reason, when I was looking into this, they keep talking about Epstein. And I feel like when Trump is inaugurated, you guys, I'm not saying that the day of this is going to be released, but I really see him pushing towards releasing the Epstein, maybe like there's a file or a list or something of that matter, but big truth bombs coming out about that. So let's just pull a few cards on that and see what the energy is. What is Trump going to release? A lot of information, whether you guys want to hear this or not, when he is in office, when he is inaugurated here. Absolutely, you guys. You bet. Look at all this. Money trails to, oh my goodness. This is crazy. He is going to be, he's going to be given all the goods here. Absolutely. So this is very much building, the energy of a certain list as well when it comes to on the island, Epstein Island. Look at that energy and what really went down, who was involved. You guys are going to know. This will be public knowledge coming out. So I have not personally ever really dug into that whole rabbit hole, but that's just something that keeps coming to me. They keep talking about Epstein when I look at Trump and his inauguration. But again, he's really here to give and unveil all of these different secrets, dirty and dark secrets that are coming out. So I'm surprised the High Priestess didn't come out here, but absolutely, it looks like Seven of Pentacles. There isn't just going to be that's not going to be the be all end all. There's going to be a multitude of things that are released to the public. Absolutely, with that Ace of Pentacles. So, and there will be evidence of this. It's not just going to be him saying this. There will be, it feels like actual evidence with that Ace of Pentacles. So, wow. All right, I think I'm gonna do at some point, I'll probably do tarot, like more of a dive or a deeper dive on separate countries, because there's just so much to cover here, you guys. But this is kind of an overall view. There was, I don't think we talked a whole lot yet about AI and medical breakthroughs, because I was strongly getting as well that there's going to be quite a few medical breakthroughs. I know a lot of you guys are curious about that as well, especially when it comes to the med beds. Now, I'm not saying that that's coming out in 2025, but there are going to be technologies and especially cures for diseases. I just did one on a treatment that Russia has announced an article on. So that was, I think, my last video. So if you guys are interested in that, you can go back and take a look. But what do we have, Spirit, for the collective moving forward when it comes to breakthroughs in medicine and AI and technology? Is that going to be huge breakthroughs? Will there be huge breakthroughs for 2025? Interesting. Yes, but also, look at this. This is all about transformation as well. So we do have that death card. So I think there will be ways to integrate certain things that will prolong the life. So this is delaying the death process, I guess you can say. So absolutely. Again, this is, look at Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords here. So it is kind of the integration of it, but this is not going to be next level medbed technology. Unfortunately, that's not what I see. But yes, lots of innovations on helping people, maybe helping the moods, helping depression, especially with that Five of Cups in the situation here. And especially when you look at the children there, as I talked about, there's going to be lots of breakthroughs. I feel like, in 2025 when it comes to the children. Because like I said, they're all put in this tiny little box, and if they dare go outside of this little box, they are diagnosed with whatever, ADHD or whatever that may look like. Autism, right? So there's going to be a reevaluation of like what this is actually supposed to look like, and that's really a positive thing. So yeah, I do see lots of breakthroughs worldwide with medicine, and I want to say prolonging the life. I feel like when I look at this Page of Pentacles, I'm hearing herbs, like actual natural herbs that we have available on this earth that we can very much utilize and use, but instead of in replacement of prescription medicine, right? The drugs. But again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying not to follow your doctor's orders. I'm just saying I see a momentum moving forward when it comes to natural remedies in the future, and in 2025 as well here. So yeah, it feels like the beginning of prolonging our lives here. Really nice. So with that being said, lovely soul family, I think I'm going to wrap up this video, and we will probably revisit some more countries more specifically, so stay tuned for that. If you guys had any questions or wanted me to look into something specific, let me know, but that's kind of a general view of how I see 2025 and the momentum forward. Big shifts and transformations, so get ready for all these exposures to happen, because this is the year that it's happening. We've talked about it, we've seen things kind of happening in 2024, but this is going to hit huge in 2025. Okay, lovely soul family. So with that being said, I'm sending you guys so much love and light on this journey, and until next time, bye for now.